Yeah, we
Next
got
one's
that.
from Dale Fortunio, somebody's visual. What's up, gang? First off, let me preface this by saying playing Fantasy Booker is not what I want here, but I'd like to see if you think this would be the best way to help potentially end a story. Let's say somehow we have Roman face the Rock or Cody WrestleMania, and as we approach the event, the tension builds within the bloodline. During the match, Reigns gets more and more frustrated being able to put away his opponents, while Solo and Paul Heyman become incapacitated. On the entryway, we see one by one members of the bloodline, such as the Wild Samoans, Rikishi, so on and so forth, coming to the stage to see how the head of the table potentially lose. Roman face's face goes from frustration to pity to regret and then to humility. To me, this visual could be one of the best ways to close a story, watching the table bear witness firsthand to the demise of the tribal chief. Your
I
thoughts
don't
on
know.
this? I'm like,
I
yo,
don't know where Dale if Dale got this from this, but this reminds me of. Did you guys ever see Predator 2, the one that had Danny Glover in it?
I don't remember it though.
It's so at the end of the movie, they're fighting on the spaceship. Danny Glover beats a predator, and out of nowhere, all the other predators pop up because
Oh,
they were
right, yeah.
watching the fight. And since the predator died, they carried away all reverently and stuff, and they give Danny props or whatever. That's what that reminded me of, kind of like, yeah, they're coming out to witness this great man fall or whatever, if he's
Yeah.
gonna. I
What are you
like
I
it.
don't
talk?
know.
What are you talking about?
The Dale here said that he visualized Roman being defeated, and as the match is going on, every member of the Anoa'i family and
Oh,
cousins and
and
all that,
it
they start coming out one by one to
reminded you of that
see.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Not bad, but I don't care for booking ideas, to be honest with you. I'd rather just see what happens. Bro, we could listen to fantasy booking literally all day long, like 24/7, 365. Just people come and giving their ideas, like whatever.
And
I don't know.
they want you to
I'm
talk
not a
about
fan of
every.
fantasy booking. Right.
They want you to talk about each topic for an hour too. Don't forget.
Yeah. How many more minutes do we have to make?
Next is from Yonder
Incredible.
Yvonne, subject is Aliyah. Back in 2022, when WWE brought back the female tag titles, what a time to be alive. They made a big deal of pushing Raquel Rodriguez and Aliyah as the first champions. Even had the main event in a few Raws, to good ratings by Raw standards. Pretty soon in the run, Aliyah got some form of injury that took her off TV for a while, and for whatever reason, WWE never brought her back, even though she was apparently medically cleared way before the end of 2022, and then just let her sit at home for the rest of her contract. Why? WWE clearly saw something in her, but just dumped her, and let's be PC but honest, she is smoking hot. K100, have you heard anything about why this woman that WWE clearly had plans for and then just dropped forever? I mean, maybe they thought, you can't keep everybody on the roster. Like every 6 months or so, they have cuts, and maybe they just looked at her work and like thought that she wasn't going to improve anymore, and they just cut her. There's got a lot of other attractive girls in that system that aren't on TV yet. So I don't know. You got a comment, Conan?
Well, yeah, she was hot, but like Disco says, they have a lot of hot girls, especially in NXT, waiting to come up.
Right.
Yeah, they might still. She must have done something where they didn't see anything in her. My problem with her was her work was not that good. Okay,
Right.
and bro, she was like almost anorexic skinny. Like I was like, this girl needs a steak or a protein drink or both.
It's like what's her name? It got skinny. Shotzi. Did you see
Did
that?
she get really skinny? I
She
didn't
looked
really
like it. Yeah,
notice it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she what she was wearing. So, all right. Next, okay. Here's one for you. Next is from Hank Beanie. Subject is Andrade. Hey guys, a few months ago I asked you what you thought the next move for Andrade would be. At the time, he was in Tony Khan's doghouse. Charlotte and him were publicly going through some things in their marriage, and Conan said he thought Tony would re-sign him. Since I think WWE should use him. Guy looks like $1 million, but he still can't talk on the mic. Thank you, and that's from Handsome Hank.
We do need to
So
bring
what
the
happened with
disco list
Andrade,
back.
Conan?
So when I answered this, I knew he was leaving. And so one of the things that happened was I was in a I was at a autograph signing in Charlotte, okay? That WrestleCade thing, which I had a lot of fun at. And Andrade was there. Bro, he had an incredible match. I can't remember who it was with. I want to say Mike Bailey, who's incredible himself, very underrated. And they had a match that I couldn't believe because when he wrestled Kenny Omega Mexico, I was looking at him like, wow, he's lost a step. I thought it was because he got too muscular. But this was Andrade I knew. Then he had a match in AEW and it was sick. I saw him in CMLL and I was like, Anyways, when I told him, I go, hey man, are you going to WWE? Are you going to stay in AEW? He goes, uh, you know, he kind of told me to read between the lines that he was leaving, you know, and so I knew for a long time that he was leaving, but I didn't want to say anything.
All right.
You know,
So
they
next,
say that's the same case with forgot both their names. Go ahead.
Malachi Black and Buddy
Yes.
Murphy.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, this. Well, listen to this. This next one's interesting. Interesting conversation here. It's from Gavinder Pawar. The subject is Cody, the most pushed star in years. Hi guys, big fan of your show. I respect you to try to keep an open mind and avoid biases coming into your discussions. Can you think of anyone who's had the mega push of Cody has had since returning to WWE? Number one, big comeback at Mania beat Seth. Number two, beat Seth twice more, including when injured. Number three, number 30 at the Rumble, the main event WrestleMania, where you lost only due to interference. Number four, beats Brock clean twice with Brock raising his hand. Number five, wins another Rumble. First man since Austin to do back to back. Six, no clean losses, made to look stronger than anyone else in WWE. Cody is over, but is he any more over than LA Knight? Like the WWE.
After
Yeah.
LA Nitro.
Yeah. You're
Okay,
cutting
Cody
it.
is over.
Yeah.
Okay,
Disco. I think it's your connection. Go back and read the names again, starting with LA Knight, please. Oh man.
Cody is over, but is he in LA Knight, Orton, Drew, Seth, and others with less favorable booking? It seems like the WWE are treating Cody like he's all WWE via shows like yours and odd YouTube clips. A Rock versus Roman match at Mania would make me pay for the event, but the Cody match is meh and seems pretty catered to those already watching. What am I missing? You're missing the fact that they are grooming the next John Cena, a super over babyface that checks all the boxes. He looks great. He does the Make a Wish stuff, does the appearances, does media. Just it's the John Cena spot. They got to replace John Cena. I mean, to me, that's obviously what this is. Would you agree with that?
I don't know if it's a John Cena spot per se, but I
It
will
has to
say,
be the John Cena spot. He's
but
totally straight up babyface, 100%.
you could be right.
I
I
think I
hadn't
am right.
thought of it that way. Yeah,
I think I am.
and yeah, you probably are. But here's the thing: everything you mentioned, Disco, about Cody is true, and he's super over with the fans.
Right.
And here's the thing: when you're a booker, bro, you want hot baby faces, and they got a bunch. You know, L.A. Knight, Randy Orton, Punk, Cody. You know,
Yeah.
Ray. You know, so they got a bunch of guys.
Did
Yeah.
you guys both see the Rumble on Saturday?
Yeah.
So I was talking to some of the people in the Discord about this. When they finished up and it was Punk and Cody, the final two, who do you think the crowd was rooting for more? What did it seem
I
like?
think it was split, but probably more Cody.
That's what I said, yeah. I thought it was more Cody. Punk got a little bit of booze and stuff. Maybe like the outsider coming back kind of booze.
Well,
Or
he
you
has
could
his cult of fans, and a lot of people don't like him. You
yeah.
know?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, and this it goes both ways, right? So this guy that wrote a letter, he sounds like he doesn't like Cody. You know.
Right.
Right. Right.
But did you see Raw?
I didn't see Raw. I saw the Rumble.
Just bits and pieces. I saw the for opening segment, which I thought was great.
This with Cody and Punk.
And Drew.
And Drew,
And
yeah.
Punk.
I
Yeah,
did see
yeah.
that, yeah.
That was really good. So
There you
next
could
is
hear the people again who they favored,
yeah.
even though CM Punk has a, I don't know, bro. They like him a lot, you
Yeah.
know.
Next is from Daniel French, subject is T and Ali. On the most recent episode of TNA TV, it was announced that Mustafa Ali is signed with the company. Now, that's going to make me watch any more or less than it did before, but I have to ask you guys. Do you think there's a bigger meaning to these guys signing?
Tell Disco so he doesn't keep talking.
Yeah, you're just go back, Disco, and just start it. Do you think there's a bigger
What's wrong with this thing?
I don't know, it was cutting in and out. I don't think it's headset, I think it's connection.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just going to find a new place to record, a new room, you know? Well, I got the new room. I'm going to be recording in a different place from now on.
Yeah.
Okay, on the most recent episode of TNA TV is announced Mustafa Ali is signed with the company. Now, that's going to make me watch any more or less I did before, but I have to ask you guys. Do you think there's a bigger meaning to these guys signing with TNA? I mean, it's a business at the end of the day, and we all know that Tony Khan has zero problems overpaying for people. But do you think the wrestlers are avoiding AEW due to, as marky as I sound, AEW simply isn't good enough? Ali could have gone to AEW, got some cash, but then what? K100, do you think TNA getting these guys instead of AEW is basically the industry's way of telling AEW what the wrestlers really think of Tony Khan as booking?
That's
Well, how
just
do you know
full.
Tony Khan wanted these guys?
Right. That's full of
That's just
assumptions.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Tony Khan isn't going to sign every single guy that leaves WWE. Then
And
he would look stupid for doing that. You know?
I know Ali's a big favorite of the social media and Twitter and whatnot, but I never really was that crazy about him. So, Tony
I
maybe
wasn't
felt the
either,
same way.
but bro, when they brought him to TNA, he was great.
Yeah.
TNA does a really good job of getting guys over there.
Yeah. Some
But
of
I
the
will
things.
say this:
Mhm.
wrestlers talk. They're watching the show, and Ali and AJ Francis, they're like, and AJ Francis just said it on an interview we just did with him. They let me be creative. We're in AEW. Tell me really three good storylines that are happening right now.
I couldn't.
You can say it for
Yeah,
WWE. And
Yeah.
I think they
yeah,
know that. They're more sophisticated. They're smarter. They're like, you know what? I'm going to come here. Let them make me a star so I'm more attractive and I got a chance to go back over there.
yep,
And there's a
absolutely.
connection now too. They've been using the
Yeah.
TNA women on, not all the time, but rumbles and stuff.